Yep, here we are at the Alamo City. I love this city. This city has a lot of history. A lot of Latinos, a lot of raza, Hispanics. You know, the community ultimately is of all Hispanic. Today I'm going to take you guys on a little tour. I'm going to take you to one of the most tourist spots in the world. You know, people come from all around the world to see this. I'm about to show you today, give you a little history on it, because we came, we saw, and we kicked some ass. See, represented today to the fullest. I'm a Mexican hat with my huaraches straight out of Mexico, Guanajuato, Mexico. There we go. You know, there's a lot of gift shops. You got the River Center Mall right here. It's got every store inside there, practically. But we're going to the Alamo. I'm gonna give you a little history on the Alamo. You know, this is one of the reasons why I love the Alamo City, because of the history. There's so much history here, and things to see. You know, you can never go bored here on any given day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or something always cracking, something popping off, something you could do. Here's a hop on off tour. Just a little tour guide that they take you around and show you the city, talk about it. You know, this is the Minger Hotel. This is one of the most haunted hotels in Texas, if not the most haunted. I'll get into a story about that all in by itself, but today we're going to go ahead and check out the Alamo. Like I said, there's many gift shops, you know, that you could get. We got the wax museum. You got Ripley's Believe It or Not, Tomb Raider. You know, we've got a little mirror maze. Bunch of little things you could do here in this little plaza going to the Alamo. This is a great city. The people are really respectful, kind, humble, you know. So here we go, about to enter the Alamo, and this is where 12 Strong try to hold it down, you know. I mean, you got to give them props because they stood to the end. They fought to the death, you know. But of course, us Mexicans came, conquered, and took over, you know. Today we got the W, that's for sure. So here's the entrance of the Alamo here. We'll go ahead and see if we could get in. Let me see here. And so this is the entrance. This building's been standing since the 1800s. I mean, of course, they did a little, you know, modification to preserve some that were coming apart. That's the top of the roof, you know. But for the most part, this is the original Alamo. They have changed now, but you were able to go in back in the day into these rooms. And the admission is free. You can't take an audio tour. I think it's like $5, $8, something like that. And you put a headset on and they'll tell you the whole history. And these are all the heroes of the Alamo. These are the ones who fought to the end. So yes, like I said, this is one of the most visited tourist spots here in the Alamo City, in the world, you know, because of course this has been sitting here since the 1800s. And if you haven't seen the movie The Alamo, check it out, watch it. Some real shit, real history. So let me tell you what it was back in 1846, I believe. Well, the siege ended in a fierce battle on March 6th as the Mexican army overran the walls. Most of the Texans fell back to the long barrack and the chapel. During the siege, Texans had carved holes in many of the walls of these rooms so that they would be able to fire. Each room had only one door, which led into the courtyard, and which had been busted by semicircular parapets of dirt secured with cowhides. This would be the courtyard here. Some of these rooms even had trenches dug into the floor to provide some cover for their defenders. Mexican soldiers used the abandoned Texan cannon to blow off the doors of the room, allowing Mexican soldiers to enter and defeat the Texans. The last of the Texans to die were the 11 men manning two 12-pound cannon in the chapel. The entrance to the church had been barricaded with sandbags, which Texans were able to fire over. A shot from the 18-pound cannon destroyed the barricades, and Mexican soldiers entered the building after firing an initial musket volley. With no time to reload, the Texans, including Dixon and Gregory Esparza and Boham, grabbed rifles and fired before being bayoneted to death. They were just, they got that knife stuck in them. Texan Robert Evans was master of ordnance and had been tasked with keeping the gunpowder from falling into Mexican hands. Wounded, he crawled towards a powder magazine, but was killed by a musket ball with his torch only inches from the powder. If he had succeeded, the blast would have destroyed the church. Let's go ahead and enter these rooms. Erected in a grateful recognition of the supreme act of heroism of the 32 men from Gonzales who gave their lives in the Alamo in response to the appeal of Travis. This here gives you all the history. Mexicans, adversaries. This was the weaponry they used back in the day. That there laid one of the trenches they had built. So to recap, on March 6, 1836, after 13 days of intermittent fighting, the Battle of the Alamo comes to a gruesome end, capping off a pivotal movement in the Texas Revolution. Mexican forces were victorious in recapturing the fort, and nearly all of the roughly 200 Texan defenders, including frontiersman Davy Crockett, died. That is the little history of the Alamo. Let me go ahead and take you through this little part of the fortress that still exists. Like I said, of course, I did some modernizing to it, and they got some koi fish. They're doing some remodeling right now. They're going to put some more exhibits in, and during different times, like the month of the battle, and you know, the anniversary of the Alamo City and stuff like that, they'll have different things here, and they'll actually show, they'll like have a little show with the Alamo battling, you know, against each other, like a reenactment of it. They'll have displays of the guns and how they loaded them and things of that nature, you know. But all in all, it's cool to see part of history standing, especially from the late 1800s. Then of course you have your gift shop. You go through, you get your little souvenir, whatever you want, you know. At the beginning they'll do a little photo shoot of you, and you come in the gift shop and see what it is, what it looks like if you want it. Like I said, this is the gift shop here. Ain't got cash, you get some cash. Hey. And for those of you who don't know who Davy Crockett is, that's where the Davy Crockett hat came from. There's many the Declaration of Independence. We've got many gifts in here: shot glasses, mugs, shirts, hats. Oh, this is pretty cool. A leather canteen, huh? We've got some rattles, more shot glasses. Alamo horn mug. And here, if you got the time, you gotta go through all the years, and you know, from warehouse to shrine, from republic to early statehood, the birth of the Republic of Texas, 1836, the struggle for independence, the decline of Spanish rule, and the mission period. I mean, it goes from the 1716s all the way to the late 1800s. So it tells you all the history, all that you want to know. So if you're ever down in San Antonio, come on down to one of the most tourist spots in the Alamo City, San Antonio, Texas. Come on down and check it out. You know, like I said, it's free. They've got donation boxes coming out of the Alamo, going out of the Alamo. You know, of course, I already dropped my $5, you know, a little something, but they got donation boxes that you put in to help support, to keep this going. You know, like I said, it's free. You know, nothing, they don't ask nothing of you but to respect it. Don't deface it. You know, we've had some characters come in here and want to deface it, you know, put their names on it and want to tag on it. Well, they got tagged with a big old fine and some time in jail. Because like I said, this is part of history. You know what I mean? Why would you want to do that? Like I said, come out to Alamo City, enjoy some great weather, great food, great company. You know, the people here are awesome. A lot of history, a lot of history. You got the haunted Ripley's, believe it or not, there, haunted adventures, World Record Museum, Guinness's records. Many things to see, try, eat, get, you know what I mean? But like I said, at the end, we came, we saw, and we kicked some motherfucking Texan ass. Sorry, no disrespect, but you know, you gotta represent. There's a cannon that could have how do you say it, could have rewrote history. If the man could have just made it to that fuse, would have been a different story. So with that, I conclude this little history tour. Come and check out the Mission of San Antonio del Valero. That's the original. They now call it the Alamo. Come down and check it out. And please like and subscribe. I've got many more of history out of San Antonio, Texas. I got some in Guanajuato, Mexico. How dangerous is Mexico coming? You know, I went to Mexico, just came from there, but I'm about to drop a little video of that, so stay